Today we're talking about the alternate leg jump rope skill. This is a very important jump rope skill to learn, but a lot of beginners struggle with this because you're just getting used to rotating the rope and maintaining good form and technique, but now all of a sudden you're trying to move your legs, your feet at the same time, and it can throw things off. It can be a lot of things to take in, causing trip ups and frustration. So I'm gonna give you some tips on how to tackle this footwork skill. So grab your rope and let's do this. So the first thing I wanna cover is some errors that people often make with the alternate leg skill. Now this isn't gonna be doing with your feet, this is gonna be doing with overall posture. And so the first thing that people tend to do is they end up leaning back as they begin to move their legs. So they look more like this. Now you don't wanna be here, you wanna be in a more athletic position. And so it's like sprinting. You've got a slight angle in your torso, leaning forward just a little bit. It doesn't have to be much, but so when I'm jumping regular, I'm nice and tall, and then as I go into alternate leg, just a little bit forward, it keeps me in this athletic position. It's also going to lower my hands a little bit, so you might need to adjust your hands so there's not too much rope hitting the ground, because if there's too much rope, then it's gonna bounce up into your feet. The next thing you need to make sure that you're focusing on is rotating the rope with your wrists. You don't wanna be here because that's gonna slow you down. It limits the speed at which you can jump rope. So it's all just little wrist circles, rotating the rope, and that's what allows you to pick up speed. The next thing you don't wanna be doing too much of is we're doing alternate leg, which is like a jog in place. We're not doing high knees. You don't have to get them way up, because when you start doing that high knees, that's usually what makes people stand up, but you wanna stay a little bit more forward. It's just picking them up a little ways, getting a little bend in the knees, wherever's comfortable for you, so you can perform the skill properly. Another thing that a lot of people tend to do is as they begin to add in the movement of their feet and legs to the tempo of the rope, their tempo tends to pick up, causing them to trip up. So make sure that you're really trying to maintain, if you have to count it out, just 1, 2, 1, 2, whatever your basic bounce tempo is. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You want to try to maintain that same tempo the entire time. In this first drill, we're going to be starting out in the basic 2-foot jump, and I want you just to develop a 3 count tempo. So like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the point of this is I want you to have that tempo in your mind. You can count out loud or just in your head. And so that's what's gonna be driving your rope tempo. So you can try to keep the same speed even when you're trying to move your legs. So in this drill, we're gonna be doing 3 basic 2-foot jumps, followed by 3 right foot jumps, then 3 more basic 2-foot jumps into 3 left foot jumps, back to 3 2-foot jumps. Now what this is going to do, and then we're just going to be repeating that as shown here. Now what this is going to do is it's going to get you used to continue keeping that rope tempo while you're starting to lift a leg, but you don't have to worry about immediately changing legs, so you don't have too much going on in your brain as far as foot and leg movement. So this is going to gradually ease you into this. After you get that down, then we're going to move into the same thing, but just with 2 jumps each. So it's removing a jump, so things are going to speed up a little bit, but we're going to gradually move into it. From here, you're more than welcome to try just doing the alternate leg, but if it still seems like a lot's going on, instead of going down to like 1 and just jumping into trying to do 1 each, now we're going to go back to 3. But this time we're going to eliminate the 2-foot jump in between. So now we're going to just do 3 on the right leg, followed by 3 on the left leg. 3 on the right leg. So now you're getting to go do the full switch between the right leg and left leg, and then the left leg and the right leg jumps. If that's going well, now we're going to drop 1 jump off of that, and we're going to go just to 2 jumps. Now as you can see, this is going to start weaning us down towards the alternate leg. So the next step after that is now you're going to go for the alternate leg. So now you're just going to make sure you can maintain that same tempo and just do it in a 2 count. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And when you're ready in the basic bounce, Then begin and try on the alternate leg. Make sure you don't lean back, stay nice and forward. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And really make sure that you're maintaining that same tempo. So a big thing to remember here is everybody learns skills, footwork skills at different rates, and that sometimes it can take a while. So don't get impatient. You gotta remain persistent in practicing these drills, and don't put too much pressure on yourself, because we all struggle with these things when we first start. I did as well. And so really focus on maintaining that tempo and good posture, and that you're rotating the rope with your wrists, and you're gonna get this. An alternative footwork option here, instead of doing this jogging motion, if that's really not working for you, or you just want to add in another type of footwork that's just a little bit different, is going to be what I call the forward shuffle. It's also called the mummy kick by some people. But the difference here is, instead of bending your leg up to make the switch, you're shuffling it out in front of you. So it's just this motion. So you're going to be in your basic bounce, and then it's just an alternating push forward like this. Now, as you begin to get this alternate leg or forward shuffle down, what I encourage you to do is play with different tempos. You don't have to just do one jump on each foot. Mix it up with 2 on one foot, 2 on the other, then 3 on one foot, 3 on the other, 2 on one foot, 1 on the other, back to 3. You know, just kind of have fun with playing around with the patterns. And that's when you really get to start kind of freestyling just within these little skills. And it gets some flow, and you can start doing it to the beat of songs, and that's when you really start having a lot more fun with jump rope. Don't forget to check out the other videos in this series, and I will see you in the next video.